I don't view myself as a product, but if I was a product and the candidates were products on the shelf for the American people to choose, which one do we want? I do view that what they get with me that is different than all of the other candidates, regardless of party, is they get a fabric. They get a leader, a statesman that puts the country first. And a lot of people say, okay, America first or what have you, but what that really means at this point is Trump first, but there's a lot of people who do want America to be the focal point again. Like, let's stop sending money everywhere around the world. Mm-hmm. Can we please fix us here? It's not that we don't care about everyone around the world. It's that we just have so many problems here. We have to get our own house in order. And I have said from a foreign policy perspective that I want to cut off the aid that we've been giving for 40 plus years to so many different countries that are poorer now than when we started, because we did the same thing that we do to people here. That it enslaves them. It does not liberate them. I want to invest in those countries. In fact, we'll probably do double the amount of investments than we've been giving in aid. They'll get twice as much money, and it'll go to the people, not the people at the leaders at the top, which is what's creating all of the corruption to begin with.
Because we've talked about how when you give aid, and let's just say you send in millions of bushels of corn, well, that then just killed the entire market for people who are producing corn. There might have been enough farmers to give that corn. Maybe they needed help and investment in tractors and supplies. That's the difference.
Well, and in many cases, it's bags of cash. Yeah. It's like pallets of cash too. Right. So like, I think, are you describing maybe more like work programs and training programs, kind of like what you did here in Africa?
I think there's an element of that, but I really mean infrastructure. Okay. It is roads and canals and nuclear plants, energy plants, because how much of Africa is still in the dark, and they don't have the proper water, and they don't have stable electricity or services. If you want people to really flourish, they have to have this baseline of amenities with power, electricity, water, internet. Then the responsibility is on them for growing and flourishing and cohabitating in peace and so forth. And by the way, I still think that's part of our national security. One of the things that the Minister of Energy in Kenya and I were discussing a few years back with the other ministers of energy from neighboring nations is that if we put all of the East Africa, for example, on the same utility grid, they're less likely to attack the other country because then it inflicts harm on myself. So it's peace through shared services is the way, the corporate way we would look at it. There's great opportunities that achieves multiple objectives.
So you would help by not aid, it's investment. Okay. And you think we should stop giving so much money just out willy-nilly, especially when we have.
If you were my son, is it better if I give you $1,000, or is it better if I invest $10,000 into a business that can set you free and make money? It's a no-brainer. No-brainer. And I get the $10,000 back. We all win much better in the long run than if I just give the money out. It's the exact same thing with aid to foreign countries.
Hey, thanks for watching this clip. If you want to see the full podcast, be sure to click on the link in the description. And if you feel like it, hit subscribe.